Hey guys, Marsha here with Robinson Style. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest. It's my best friend, Joy Johnson. Dr. Joy Johnson. Did you whisper doctor? Oh, I thought you did. No, I thought she whispered like, it's doctor. No. Okay, so you guys know that I made a video about being a lawyer and answer questions that I received about, where I went to school, working as a lawyer, why did I go into law, and I thought it would be great if I did the same one for engineering because my friend is an engineering beast, and I thought I'd bring her on the channel so that she can share some advice to anyone interested in going into engineering and just sharing a little bit more about her journey. So today we'll start with, we already know your name. Okay, where do you live and what do you do for work if you can share your job? Let's stop secret.
So, like you said, my name is Joy. I live in San Francisco, California, and I work at Apple, so we can't talk about all the things.
So she will not be sharing anything about the Apple, and I already asked. So, okay, so I guess we'll start. When did you know you wanted to work in engineering?
I always say, I probably didn't know, you know this too, I probably didn't know I wanted to do engineering until I was really in college, because high school was kind of I was good at math, I was trying to, I loved anything about science and math, but I didn't really know much about engineering. We didn't have computer science at our high school or anything like that. But going to NC State, everybody was in engineering. So it's I could kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And the first couple classes that I took were just really, really interesting. So I was we're building things are moving, we're trying to code stuff, this is kind of cool. So I think when I started building things and actually seeing things that I made with my hands come to life, that's when I was oh, I want to do this. I want to build stuff. Okay. So
cool. So you always been about that STEM life, I guess. So you mentioned you went to NC State. So where did you apply, if you want to share, where did you apply to school for college? And what made you choose NC State?
My memory is trash.
Okay. Well, you ain't gonna tell us where you applied, but you can tell us why you chose NC State.
I think I applied to Columbia because my sister was in law school there and we thought she was super cool. So I was oh, I can move to New York. I applied to NC State because they had the Park Scholarship and I knew if I could get a scholarship, I could go to college for free. And I think I applied to Georgia Tech.
I remember
and
that.
one other school that was really good at math and science, but I don't remember
MIT.
I might have applied. I
thought you applied to Berkeley. So in the counselor's office, they would put all the letters for all the smart kids who got into all their colleges, and Joy had 20 letters on the wall. So I know she applied to a lot of schools, and then ultimately decided on NC State. And so why did you end up going to NC State?
It was free. Yeah, I definitely decided on state because they would pay for my education, and being the youngest of four, your parents are all right, so how are we doing this? So I think it being free and having the support of the park was really important because they gave you a computer, they gave you a mentor, and I knew I didn't really know much about what I wanted to go into, so I needed that support. So I think having both the financial piece and the mentorship piece was really important to me, so I think it was a great idea. And then I can stay close to home. That was also important to me.
Yeah, she was close. I would go visit her. I know we're not gonna go into this. Okay, so you mentioned you got a Park Scholarship. So you can talk specifically about that, but if you want to share advice to anyone who is looking to apply for a scholarship, why do you think your application for the Park Scholarship was so strong?
I don't remember what I wrote, because clearly. But I do think one of the things that I focused on is the fact that, one, being someone who didn't come from a family of people who had all went to college or anything like that, was, hey, I had real world experience, working with my dad, seeing how things were built, seeing how people thought about putting ideas together and things like that. But then also I think the park was really big on service. So it was service, scholarship, kind of weren't 50-50. So yes, you need to be smart, but you also need to be someone who was committed to giving back. And that was something that was important to me, even at a young age. So I think just being authentic in my application, being really honest about the fact that hey, I don't know what I want to do. And not being oh yeah, I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer. I always knew I wanted to. No, I was I don't know. But I'm here, I'm willing to learn, I'm hungry for this opportunity, and I was just very honest, very upfront. But yeah, my advice would be just be honest. And I'm sure everybody's oh yeah, I want to be a doctor because, such and such had cancer, so I want to cure cancer. It's they probably read a million applications like that. But if you're honest about who you are, what you want, they're looking for that diversity of thought, and you tell them who you are, you're not going to sound like everyone else. I think that was important.
Yeah, I think that's good. So, okay, I guess we won't fast forward yet, but can you talk about some of your summer experiences? Because we know you had some cool internships. I used to go visit her because I wasn't doing nothing over the summer. So what did you do during your summers while you were in school?
Yeah, so that was a good thing about having a scholarship, is that I had the freedom and the privilege to go and do things in the summer. But I did work every semester. I was in college. But I did internships at Intel. We went to California. That was a lot of fun. I did an internship at IBM. At the time, IBM sold computers back then, so yeah,
they still got some out there, the big pads out there.
So I worked at IBM one summer, and then I did research one summer just to kind of mix it up. Like, I wanted to try different things, so I did research at Cornell University one summer, which really got me excited about engineering, because I was like, oh, no, this is real. This is not just like some little things we're doing in the lab. Like, these are products that people are shipping. So I did a research experience in Cornell, and then I did other little stuff like study abroad, but just for like a couple of weeks, but not the whole summer.
So she was busy, okay? She was busy. She was out there traveling, researching, book busy and blessed. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward to you're like, okay, I'm about this engineering life, so I'm gonna go to grad school. So one, what advice do you give to anyone who thinks, okay, I want to go get my master or my PhD in engineering?
Are you sure?
Are you about that life?
Are you about that life? Because I think we both had that experience when we were getting applications together. We were like, this is a lot. So like, you really have to know that is what you want to do. Because I think a lot of people are like, especially with like social media and stuff like that, like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. It's like, but nobody's gonna be in that lab shooting in the gym with you late at night. Like, you have to know that one, it's what you authentically want to do, and then two, you need to know that that's what your job requires. So a lot of times when I'm looking at candidates or I'm looking to hire somebody, I'm like, they may be overqualified for the job or underqualified for the job, but it's like, think about what you want to be doing every day, and then, do I need this degree to do that? Like, what does it require for me to get there? So that you know, like, you're actually going through all of this work for a reason.
So do you think, okay, so someone's like, I want to get a PhD, so they need to do research, right? They need to try to get research experience, I guess, as early as possible.
Yeah, but you don't. So one of the things I thought about was, as minority and as women, we don't think about like, oh, I need to do this or that to get prepared for that, because I wasn't thinking about grad school until like senior year in college, and I was like,
what am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah, like, I don't know, this is interesting. But I think it is important to get experience, because essentially a professor who's looking at you for you to be a part of their lab, they want to know, are you a good researcher? So the way to know, are you a good researcher, is to do your research. But I think if you don't have the experience, you can use a job project as like a research project, because they give you something to do at the beginning of the year or the beginning of the summer, and then you accomplish that over the summer, so you can kind of package that as a research experience. But yeah, try to get as much experience, even if it's on campus during the semester, working for free during the semester with a professor that's local, because the RDU area is great, because you got Duke, Carolina, NC State, even though we don't support those teams. But try to get as much experience as you can, because one, it's good experience to put on your resume, but two, then you'll know whether or not you really want to do it. Right?
Yeah. So it's good real world experience.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I meant to ask you this, but what was your major when you were at NC State?
So NC State, I double majored in electrical engineering and computer.
Okay, and why did you choose electrical and computer?
Because I didn't have to take chemistry after. No, I'm kidding. But they opened it up, like I said, when you first come in, everybody's kind of like engineering, I'm like undeclared. And so I just kind of took those little, they had little workshops where you could see what each type of engineering was like. And I was like, nope, don't like chemistry. No, don't like fluid dynamics. No, like I ruled out everything. And then one professor made a really good point. They were like, if you do electrical engineering or computer science, like, it's very broad. So you can apply it to a lot of different fields, especially computer science. So I was like, okay, let me try it. And then I started taking more classes in that particular area. And I was like, okay, this is my major. Like, this is what I want to do.
Okay, and so just from the outside looking in, engineering doesn't seem to be that diverse of an industry. So did you find that you were one of a few Black women, or a few women in general in engineering, and how did that affect your experience? And I'll say an undergrad, or you can even add in grad on your job.
Yeah, undergrad, it was me and this other girl named Angel. So we're very heavenly people. in like all of electrical engineering, because the funny part is that electrical engineering and computer science are usually the biggest engineering departments.
Okay.
But still, during college, and clearly I don't remember everything, so maybe there was someone else that I forgot, but there were very few women, but I quickly got used to it. Because I was just like, oh, this is just what it is. So for me, when people are like, oh, was it hard? Was it this? I'm like, no, I'm just used to working with all men. Literally until the group that I'm in now at Apple, I had never worked with another female engineer in the same group.
Wow.
And it was just normal. It wasn't bad or good.
Yeah.
But I do think, like we were talking about before, especially in graduate school, the women that I met in graduate school, the black women I met, it was only a few of us, but they were just really good people, good friends, and we, are becoming lifelong friends. So I don't think it's been a negative thing.
Yeah.
It's been normalized, which is probably not great.
But so then do you feel pressure, like, yeah, I'm an engineer, but like, let me teach y'all a little bit about, like, do you ever feel like you're representing like black women and you feel like, okay, like, I'm representing a group in this industry that is really underrepresented.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, even what we talk about, right? Like, as soon as you do something, you're like, oh man, I can't
spaz on y'all like I want to.
Because it's going to be a thing. I definitely think, same as you, like, I feel that way. And I feel like such a responsibility. At Apple, we're such a vertically integrated business in certain parts of our business. We work with people all the way from factory to our executive suite. And a lot of times when I'm in a situation with more women, it is on a factory level. So sometimes I do feel that responsibility because they're seeing me come in, this little young girl, so I'm like, I make sure I'm dressed for work every day. I make sure I'm on time. I make sure they see me acting as a leader, like being a leader in my everyday life, like just, showing up, being on time, doing what I say I'm gonna do, advocating for them, making sure that like I'm giving them work that's meaningful and explaining to them what we're doing. Because sometimes I feel like they don't know what they're doing. They're just putting things together and doing what they're supposed to do, but they don't know what we're doing. So I take the time out to say, hey, this is really helpful for our display technology because what you guys are doing are helpful as much as I can tell you. And I do that, and I do feel that responsibility because like that's the kind of families we come from. It's like we weren't always like in the position that we're in, and I feel like you do feel that degree of responsibility to be a leader in everything you do.
We go, sis.
We're gonna try.
Okay, so now I've been jumping around, but now we're like at the end of your college career, and you're like, okay, I'm about this grad school life, and you apply and you get into what school?
MIT.
Okay, and you go to MIT for grad school. So talk a little bit about your experience. Why did you decide to go to MIT? Obviously we don't need that much explanation. I'm in school, but why'd you go to MIT? And just like a little bit, I guess, about your experience.
So I think I really
and how it differed from the NC State.
Oh God, it was a lot different. I think so. First part was why did I decide on MIT? And I think that I really wanted to move to California, and I was like, I'm going to Berkeley. Berkeley is awesome school. We had so much fun when y'all came to California when I was there as an undergrad. But then when I went on my visit to Berkeley, my dad got sick and he ended up having a brain aneurysm while I was at the school. So when I came home, I was like, this is too far. Like, I don't want to be this far away from my family, So what other school should I apply to? Because I only applied to Berkeley. And at that point, it was like late in the fall. I was like, what are the good schools on the East Coast?
Look at the condition there.
It was ugly. It was bad because I had my mind like laser focused on one school. So then I applied so my advisor was like, well, MIT and Georgia Tech are great schools, but I had heard all these rumors about Georgia Tech. Like it was not popping like it is now. They were like, black people do not graduate with their PhD.
Oh,
and so I was like, well, guess I'm going to MIT. So I put in one application, and the other application was for MIT, and I got in. So I was like, that's where I'm going. It wasn't like, it's MIT. It's like, I didn't even apply. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, guess I'm going to MIT. So that's how I ended up going there. And I guess the difference in experience was I went from this huge state school that was like a traditional university, beautiful campus. It felt like being in college basketball, like all this history, to like MIT, which is like a tiny private school in Boston. So it was like far away from my family. We pulled up at the campus and my dad was like, so where is the school? Like it doesn't look like a campus except for one little area.
One of the two buildings.
Yeah, you saw it. It was kind of like, this is it. Like it's the #1 school in the world. Like where are the people? Like what is this? So I think the experience was different because it was smaller, it was private, but it was more intense. Like everything was intense. It was so much pressure. Like you could never make a mistake because it was like everybody here is so important. You know, and that was the hard part for me. It's just kind of like you couldn't fail because it was like if you fail, you're failing in front of the industry, you're failing in front of the people who are the highest in your field. So for me, that was difficult.
So did you have any work, I guess, or jobs in school? Like while you were in school?
All the jobs.
Yeah.
All the jobs.
So do you want to share a little bit about your work experience while you were at MIT?
When I was in grad school, I think we both are very much
like jobs.
We both are like hustlers. Like we're always working. But I think I taught Saturday, just in a Saturday academy for kids. I taught engineering, like electronics course for kids on the weekends. I worked in the dorms. I TA classes, which most grad students are TAs at some point. I worked in the summertime until I was like, I will not be poor. And in case this does not work out, I will not be distant. So I always kind of had jobs, but I always kept them technical. Like, I always kept them something that was building my skills. So.
And you worked for a startup.
And I worked for a startup. Yeah, I can talk about that. Closer to the end of grad school, a guy approached me about being in a startup, and at that point, I was tired. You know, my dad had just passed away, so I was kind of like, I don't know if I need to even finish. I'm just gonna be here and just hang out. My advisor was like, what are you doing? And I think that when he approached me about the startup, they had a really great idea, and I love music, but I'm not a musician. But they needed an engineer, so I was one of the first engineers that they hired, and it was really fun. They had that business aspect of like building a real product, so it was kind of different from research where I was doing all theoretical work. And so I started working with this tech startup called Audio Common. Great group of guys. Again, I was the only woman, but it didn't even, I didn't think about it.
They prepared you for that at school. They prepared you.
Everything up until that point prepared me for that opportunity, and it was awesome. I had a great time. We built great products. I ended up getting to give a really big speech at one of the big data science conferences in New York. And I just really like enjoyed that experience while I was still in school. So I was like working full time in school full time. But it was great.
But you graduated, girl, and you made it doctor.
Hallelujah. I graduated.
So we clearly see that you're hardworking. You know, you work all the time. You got multiple jobs. I see you. I know. I can relate. Okay, but what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, how do you make time for yourself? Because you work a lot, but self-care is important. So what do you do when you're not working? Those like that 1 hour a day when you're not working, you're not sleeping.
You're waiting.
Yeah, she's been helping me with my way. Other than looking at text messages about clothes, help us out. What do you do?
What do I do? I don't know.
You run?
I do. I exercise. I love to.
Michael,
I don't know what I do. I love to run. You know, hanging out with my family as much as I can. Even though I live on the West Coast, my family's here. Anytime I can get here to be here for their special events for my nephews and my niece, I like to try to make the time for my family. But yeah, just probably running is my only real outlet right now. I don't have one.
Well, we're going to work on that, okay? So you can, once I'm married, we're going to work on doing some more self-care routines. Okay, and so that's really it for today. So I'm thanking you for sharing. You know, she's here for the wedding, and she still took the time out to come out here at 7:30, and I promised her Starbucks. So no, that's also self-care. She drinks Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks is self-care. Okay, I got it.
But if you have any more questions about engineering, don't email her. You know what I mean? Because clearly she's busy. But you can message me, and I'll see if we can maybe record another video or have her on a quick live chat session. And that's it. So thank you, Joy, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.